So when you look throughout history, there are quite a few famous people who went through quite a bit of struggle. The U.S. had two presidents that were born indentured servants, Presidents Millard Fillmore and Andrew Johnson. Andrew Johnson was the president right after Abraham Lincoln was born, an indentured servant. Abraham Lincoln and Ben Franklin were both essentially sold into indentured servitude by their family. And then when you look even further back, Aesop, who wrote Aesop's Fables, was born a slave. Moses was a slave. Spartacus, Epictetus, Frederick Douglass, Booker T. Washington, all of these people that went on to really change the world were born slaves. And to look more recently, many of you guys know the story behind Dolly Parton and how she grew up. For instance, Jim Carrey at one point lived his life in a van during his childhood. Leonardo Dicaprio was born into poverty and had a major prostitution ring on his corner and was born around drugs and violence. The founding members of one of my favorite bands, Red Hot Chili Peppers, were homeless during their adolescence. Jay-Z was born into poverty and sold crack in the New York projects. To kind of switch gears, though, Teddy Roosevelt, who's become one of my favorite historical figures, was born into wealth, yet he was told that he wouldn't live past his teens because of his severe asthma. And then, if you look later in his life, Teddy Roosevelt went to climb the Matterhorn on his first honeymoon. Additionally, both his mother and his wife died on the same day. I'm not sure many of us could have imagined a worse, way to get their life started. But he went on to become what many would argue is the greatest president the U.S. has ever had, and one of my historical mentors, because I use a lot of the lessons from his life in my life. Epictetus, like I mentioned earlier, kind of sums this up in a really neat way. He says, "It is not what happens to you that matters, but how you react to it that matters." So, regardless of the bad things that happen to your life, we all have the ability to, in some sense, create our own reality. So, with that being said, thank you guys. Hope you all enjoyed this. Have a good one. Bye.